Tonight, as you settle into your comfortable space, imagine for a moment that you carry within your skull something more magnificent than any distant galaxy, a universe so vast and intricate that it holds the power to dream, to remember, to love, and to wonder at its own existence. Before we begin this gentle journey together, if you enjoy relaxing science stories like this one, feel free to subscribe, give this video a like, and comment below. Let me know what country you're watching from and what time you're listening to this tonight. Your presence here, in this quiet moment, connects us across the world through the very marvel we're about to explore. Close your eyes if you can, or let your gaze soften. Take a slow, deep breath. Tonight, we'll wander through the most beautiful and mysterious landscape that exists, not in some far-off place, but right here, cradled gently within you. We'll discover how your brain, this 3-pound universe, creates the very experience of being you. Let the world outside fade away. Let your breathing slow. Our story begins now, in the soft darkness behind your eyelids, where neurons dance like stars in the night sky of your mind. Asterisk, asterisk, in the quiet of this moment, as you rest, something extraordinary is happening. Right now, as you hear these words, billions of tiny electrical whispers are flowing through pathways more intricate than any river system on Earth. Your brain, this soft, walnut-textured organ nestled safely in your skull, is orchestrating a symphony of such complexity that it makes the formation of galaxies seem simple by comparison. Picture, if you will, a vast city at night seen from high above. The lights twinkle and flow in patterns, creating streams of brightness that pulse and dance. This is how your brain appears to those who study it, not as a static computer, but as a living constellation of activity, where each point of light represents a neuron, a brain cell, communicating with thousands of others in an endless, beautiful conversation. What if I told you that this very moment, as you listen to these words, your brain is performing feats that surpass our most advanced technologies? It's taking the sound waves reaching your ears, transforming them into electrical signals, and somehow, in ways we're still discovering, turning them into meaning, into images, into the felt experience of understanding. This process happening right now is so elegant and mysterious that it continues to humble the greatest minds in science. Your brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons. Imagine, if you can, that each grain of sand on a beach represents a brain cell. Now picture, not just one beach, but dozens of them, each grain connected to thousands of others by invisible threads of communication. This is the scale of the universe within you, the neural network that creates your thoughts, your memories, your dreams. But here's what makes this even more wondrous. Your brain isn't just a passive receiver of information. It's an active creator, a storyteller, a dreamer. Right now, it's taking these simple words and weaving them into something entirely unique, your own personal understanding, colored by your experiences, your memories, your way of seeing the world. No two brains will create exactly the same story from these same words. Consider how, in this very moment, your brain is managing countless tasks without your conscious awareness. It's regulating your breathing, keeping your heart beating in its steady rhythm, maintaining your body temperature, processing the feeling of your pillow against your cheek, the weight of your blanket, the subtle sounds around you. All of this happens in the background like a gentle, invisible caretaker, ensuring your comfort and safety. And yet, beyond all these automatic functions, your brain is also the seat of something even more remarkable. Your consciousness, your sense of being you. How does this soft biological tissue create the rich inner world of your experience? How does it generate the feeling of being aware, of having thoughts and emotions, of experiencing the color blue, or the taste of honey, or the comfort of a loved one's embrace? This is one of the deepest mysteries in all of science, and it's happening right here, right now, in the quiet sanctuary of your mind. Your brain is not just in your head, in a very real sense. You are your brain, experiencing itself, aware of its own existence, capable of pondering its own nature. As you drift deeper into relaxation, remember that you're not just a body resting in a bed. You're a conscious being, a universe of experience, a living testament to the most beautiful and complex phenomenon in the known cosmos. Your brain, in all its quiet majesty, is both the observer and the observed, the questioner and the questioned, the dreamer and the dream. Asterisk. Let us drift now into the gentle science of how your brain creates the miracle of you. Imagine, as you rest here, that we could shrink down to the size of a whisper and float through the landscape of your mind. We would find ourselves in a world more beautiful than any fairy tale, where tiny cells communicate through sparkles of electricity and cascades of chemical messages. Each neuron in your brain is like a miniature tree, with branches called dendrites that reach out like delicate fingers, eager to touch and connect with other neurons. At the tip of each branch is a tiny gap, a synapse, where one neuron whispers its message to another. This whisper isn't made of sound, but of chemicals, molecules that float across the gap like invisible butterflies, carrying information from one cell to the next. When you think a thought, or feel an emotion, or remember a cherished moment, what's really happening is a gentle cascade of these chemical messages, flowing like a slow river through the pathways of your brain. Some pathways are well-worn, like favorite walking trails through a forest. These are your habits, your automatic responses, the skills you've practiced until they feel effortless. Other pathways are newer, fainter, like dear trails that appear when you learn something new or have a fresh insight. The beautiful thing about your brain is that it's constantly changing, constantly growing new connections. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reshape itself throughout your entire life. Every time you learn something new, practice a skill, or even just have a new thought, you're literally rewiring your brain, creating new pathways and strengthening existing ones. This process happens most actively during sleep, which is why rest is so precious. As you lie here now, your brain is quietly consolidating the day's experiences, moving important memories from temporary storage into long-term keeping, and clearing away the cellular debris that accumulates during waking hours. It's like a gentle, nighttime gardener tending to the landscape of your mind. Your brain has different regions, each with its own specialty, yet all working together in perfect harmony. The visual cortex at the back of your brain processes the images you see, creating the rich visual world of your experience. The auditory cortex transforms sound waves into the music, voices, and environmental sounds that fill your world. The motor cortex controls your movements, from the gross motions of walking to the delicate precision of writing or playing an instrument. But perhaps most remarkable is your prefrontal cortex, the area just behind your forehead. This is the seat of what makes you most human, your ability to plan, to imagine the future, to consider abstract concepts, to feel empathy for others. It's the part of your brain that allows you to contemplate your own existence, to create art, to love, to dream of possibilities that don't yet exist. These regions don't work in isolation. They're constantly chatting with each other, sharing information in a constant flow of communication. When you bite into a fresh strawberry, your brain integrates the sweet taste, the red color, the soft texture, the pleasant aroma, and perhaps even memories of summer days, all in a single unified experience of strawberry. This integration happens so seamlessly that you never notice the work involved. Your brain is like a master conductor, orchestrating billions of individual musicians to create the symphony of your consciousness. And all of this is happening right now, in the quiet darkness of your rest, as natural and effortless as breathing. Asterisk, asterisk, let me tell you a story from long ago, a tale that will carry you gently back through time to a moment when humans first began to wonder about the universe within their skulls. It's a story that begins in ancient Egypt, along the banks of the Nile River, where the warm desert winds carried the scent of papyrus and the sound of flowing water. Picture, if you will, a physician named Imhotep working by flickering candlelight in a temple dedicated to healing. The year is around 2600 BCE, and in his hands, he holds a papyrus scroll that would become one of the most important medical documents in human history. This scroll, which we now call the Edwin Smith Papyrus, contains the first known written observations about the human brain. Imhotep had been treating wounded soldiers and workers who had suffered head injuries, and he noticed something remarkable. When certain parts of the head were damaged, specific abilities would disappear. A wound to one area might affect a person's ability to speak, while damage to another area might impair their ability to move their arms. Slowly, carefully, he began to map these observations, creating humanity's first glimpse into the connection between the brain and behavior. But here's what makes this story so touching. Imhotep didn't just see the brain as a piece of meat or a simple organ. In his writings, he described it with a sense of wonder, calling it the marrow of the skull, and noting how it ripples like water when touched. He was observing for the first time in recorded history the delicate, living nature of the organ that creates consciousness itself. For thousands of years after Imhotep, the mystery of the brain remained largely unsolved. Ancient Greeks like Aristotle believed the heart was the center of thought and emotion, while the brain was merely a cooling system for the blood. It wasn't until much later that humans began to understand the true nature of the universe within their skulls. Fast forward to the 1800s, to a quiet laboratory in Italy, where a gentle scientist named Camillo Golgi was working with a new staining technique. Using silver nitrate, he could suddenly see individual neurons for the first time, their delicate branches visible under his microscope like frost patterns on a winter window. The beauty of what he saw moved him to tears. Here, finally, was visual proof of the brain's intricate architecture. Around the same time, in a small Spanish town, a young artist named Santiago Ramon y Cajal was combining his love of art with his fascination for anatomy. When he looked through his microscope at brain tissue stained with Golgi's method, he saw something that took his breath away. The neurons weren't just randomly connected. They formed specific patterns, like a vast garden of interconnected trees. He spent years drawing these patterns, creating some of the most beautiful scientific illustrations ever made. Cajal's drawings, delicate and precise, showed the world that the brain was not a simple web of connected fibers, as many believed, but a complex network of individual cells, each one a universe unto itself. His art revealed the brain's poetry, its elegant structure, its profound beauty. He called neurons the mysterious butterflies of the soul, and his drawings still inspire scientists today. But perhaps the most touching moment in this long story of discovery came much later, in the 1950s, when a neurosurgeon named Wilder Penfield was performing brain surgery on conscious patients. As he gently touched different areas of their brains with a small electrical probe, something magical happened. Patients would suddenly smell their grandmother's cooking, or hear a long-forgotten song, or feel themselves transported back to childhood moments they hadn't thought of in decades. Penfield realized he was touching the physical locations of memories, the actual places where experiences were stored in the brain. With tears in his eyes, he understood that he was witnessing the most intimate connection between mind and matter, between the physical brain and the ethereal world of human experience. Early explorers of the brain, from ancient Imhotep to modern neuroscientists, all shared a common sense of wonder. They were not just studying an organ, they were investigating the very essence of what makes us human. Their discoveries, accumulated over thousands of years, have given us the gift of understanding that we carry within us something truly magnificent. Now, let us embark on a gentle journey inward, floating like a peaceful dream through the landscape of your mind. Close your eyes and imagine that you are becoming smaller and smaller until you are no bigger than a grain of starlight, drifting through the warm, dark caverns of your brain. As we float through this inner universe, the first thing you notice is how alive everything feels. The brain is not a cold, mechanical computer, but a warm, living ocean of activity. Gentle currents of cerebrospinal fluid flow around us like invisible rivers, carrying nutrients and washing away waste in a rhythm as old as life itself. This fluid, crystal clear and warm, bathes every corner of your brain, creating a protective, nurturing environment for your neurons to thrive. We drift deeper now through the soft, folded landscape of your cerebral cortex. These folds, called gyri and sulci, are like gentle hills and valleys in a vast neural countryside. They exist because your brain, in its wisdom, has found a way to pack an enormous surface area, about the size of a large pizza, into the small space of your skull. Each fold increases the brain's capacity, like a love letter folded many times to fit in a small envelope. As we float through these neural valleys, we encounter the white matter, millions upon millions of nerve fibers wrapped in a creamy, protective coating called myelin. These fibers are like the brain's subway system, carrying messages at incredible speeds from one region to another. Some of these pathways are ancient, formed early in human evolution, while others are uniquely yours, shaped by your experiences, your thoughts, your dreams. Let us pause here in the corpus callosum, the beautiful bridge that connects the left and right hemispheres of your brain. This structure, shaped like a graceful arch, contains over 200 million nerve fibers. It's the pathway that allows the two sides of your brain to communicate, to share information, to work together in the creation of your unified consciousness. As we rest here, we can feel the gentle pulse of information flowing back and forth, like whispered conversations between old friends. Now we descend deeper into the limbic system, the emotional heart of your brain. Here, nestled like precious gems, are structures with beautiful names. The hippocampus, curved like a seahorse, where your memories are born. The amygdala, small but mighty, which helps you recognize danger and feel fear, but also joy and love. The thalamus, the great relay station that filters and directs the constant stream of sensory information flowing through your brain. In the hippocampus, we witness something magical. New memories are being formed even as you rest. The events of your day, the face of someone you met, the taste of your evening meal, the feeling of your pillow against your cheek, are being transformed from temporary electrical patterns into lasting physical changes in your brain. Proteins are being synthesized, connections are being strengthened, and your very neural structure is being subtly rewritten by your experiences. We float now into the deeper regions, past the hypothalamus, your brain's master controller of hormones and bodily functions. This small but vital structure, no bigger than an almond, regulates your sleep, your hunger, your body temperature, your emotions. It's working right now, sensing that it's time for rest, releasing the gentle hormones that make you feel drowsy and peaceful. Even deeper we go into the brainstem, the most ancient part of your brain, the part you share with all vertebrates. Here, in the medulla and pons, your brain quietly manages the fundamental rhythms of life, your heartbeat, your breathing, your blood pressure. These are the automatic functions that continue even as you sleep, the faithful servants that keep you alive without any conscious effort on your part. As we journey through these depths, we encounter the reticular activating system, a network of neurons that controls your level of consciousness. This system is like a gentle dimmer switch, gradually lowering your awareness as you drift toward sleep, filtering out unnecessary stimuli, allowing your conscious mind to rest while your brain continues its vital work. Our journey takes us past the cerebellum, the little brain at the back of your skull. This beautiful, densely packed structure contains more neurons than the rest of your brain combined. It's responsible for the grace of your movements, the balance that keeps you upright, the coordination that allows you to walk, to dance, to embrace someone you love. Even in rest, it maintains your body's equilibrium, keeping you comfortable and stable. Throughout this inner journey, we are surrounded by the gentle hum of neural activity. Your brain never truly sleeps. It simply changes its patterns of activity, shifting from the focused awareness of waking life to the deeper, more diffuse patterns of rest and restoration. As you lie here now, your brain is performing its nightly maintenance, consolidating memories, repairing cellular damage, preparing for tomorrow's adventures. This is your inner universe, more complex than any galaxy, more beautiful than any sunset, more mysterious than any ocean. It is both the observer and the observed, the questioner and the questioned, the dreamer and the dream. And it is uniquely, completely, wonderfully yours. Asterisk, asterisk, as you rest here in the gentle embrace of approaching sleep, let me share with you some of the brain's most beautiful and surprising secrets. Quiet wonders that even many scientists don't know. Like hidden treasures waiting to be discovered in the soft darkness of your mind. Did you know that your brain has its own private waste disposal system? Like a city that comes alive at night with street cleaners and maintenance crews, your brain has a special system called the glymphatic system that activates most powerfully during sleep. As you drift into deeper rest, the spaces between your brain cells actually expand, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to flow more freely and wash away the metabolic waste that accumulates during your waking hours. This is why sleep is so restorative. Your brain is literally cleaning itself, preparing for tomorrow's experiences. Asterisk. Here's another gentle marvel. Your brain creates new neurons throughout your entire life. For decades, scientists believed that you were born with all the brain cells you would ever have, but we now know this isn't true. In a process called neurogenesis, your brain continues to birth new neurons, particularly in the hippocampus, where memories are formed. These new cells are like fresh pages in the book of your mind, ready to be written upon with new experiences and memories. Your brain also has a remarkable relationship with time. During dreams, your brain often experiences time differently. A dream that seems to last hours might unfold in just minutes of real time. This happens because your brain doesn't simply record time. It constructs it, creating your personal experience of temporal flow. In dreams, freed from the constraints of sensory input, your brain can stretch and compress time like a gentle, elastic dimension. One of the most touching secrets of your brain is that it contains what scientists call mirror neurons, cells that fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing the same action. These neurons are thought to be the biological basis of empathy, allowing you to literally feel what others feel. When you see someone smile, your mirror neurons fire as if you were smiling yourself. This is why emotions can be contagious. Why you might yawn when you see someone else yawn. Why you can feel moved by the joy or sorrow of others. Your brain also has a fascinating relationship with music. When you listen to music, it activates more areas of your brain simultaneously than almost any other activity. The rhythm engages your motor cortex. The melody activates your auditory cortex. The lyrics involve your language centers, and the emotional content floods your limbic system. This is why music can be so powerful, why it can instantly transport you to another time and place, why it can make you feel so deeply. Your brain is literally built for music, wired to find meaning and beauty in patterns of sound. Here's something that might surprise you. Your brain uses about 20% of your body's total energy, despite being only about 2% of your body weight. This 3-pound universe within your skull is more metabolically active than any other organ in your body. Even when you're sleeping, your brain remains remarkably active, sometimes even more so than during waking hours. This is why proper rest and nutrition are so important. Your brain needs this energy to maintain the constant miracle of consciousness. Your brain also has an incredible ability to fill in gaps in perception. Right now, you have a blind spot in each eye where the optic nerve connects to the retina, but you're not aware of it because your brain seamlessly fills in the missing information. This happens constantly. Your brain is not just passively receiving information about the world, but actively constructing your experience of reality, filling in details, making predictions, creating the seamless flow of your conscious experience. Perhaps most remarkably, your brain has the ability to change its own structure through thought alone. Studies have shown that simply imagining performing a physical skill can actually strengthen the neural pathways associated with that skill. Taxi drivers in London, who must memorize thousands of street layouts, have been found to have enlarged hippocampi. The brain literally grows to accommodate the demands placed upon it. And here's a final, beautiful secret. Your brain has rhythms that sync with the natural world. Deep within your hypothalamus lies your circadian clock, a group of neurons that keeps time with the rotation of the earth. This internal timekeeper is what makes you feel sleepy at night and alert during the day. But remarkably, this clock can also be influenced by other people. When you spend time with loved ones, your brain rhythms can actually synchronize with theirs, creating a deep neurological bond that goes beyond conscious awareness. As you rest here now, all of these miraculous processes are occurring within you. Your brain is cleaning itself, creating new neurons, consolidating memories, and maintaining the beautiful, complex symphony of your consciousness. You are not just a body at rest. You are a universe experiencing itself, a cosmos of consciousness wrapped in the gentle darkness of approaching sleep. Asterisk, asterisk, as you settle deeper into the embrace of rest, let us pause to contemplate one of the most beautiful mysteries your brain creates, the nature of thought itself. What is a thought? Where does it come from? How does this soft biological tissue generate the ethereal world of ideas, dreams, and consciousness? Picture, if you will, a thought forming in your mind right now. Perhaps it's the image of a peaceful lake at sunset, or the memory of someone you love, or simply the gentle awareness of these words flowing through your consciousness. This thought, this fleeting, weightless thing, is actually a cascade of electrical and chemical activity involving thousands of neurons across multiple regions of your brain. Yet somehow, this physical process creates something that feels entirely non-physical. Your subjective experience of the thought, your brain, is essentially a meaning-making machine, constantly weaving stories from the raw material of sensation and memory. Every moment of your waking life, it takes the countless streams of information flowing through your senses and creates from them a coherent narrative, the story of you experiencing the world. This narrative feels so natural, so effortless, that we rarely pause to marvel at its complexity. But consider this: the colors you see don't exist in the world outside your brain. What we call red is simply a wavelength of light, about 700 nanometers. The redness, the rich, warm, subjective experience of red is created entirely by your brain. The same is true for every sensation, every emotion, every experience you've ever had. Your brain takes the objective physical world and transforms it into the rich, subjective world of your consciousness. This means that in a very real sense, you are living in a world created by your brain. The sunset you find beautiful, the music that moves you, the touch of a loved one that comforts you, these are all creations of your neural networks, interpretations of physical stimuli that your brain has learned to experience as meaningful and beautiful. You are not just observing the world. You are actively creating your experience of it, moment by moment, thought by thought. This creative power of your brain extends far beyond simple perception. When you imagine something that doesn't exist, a purple elephant, a house made of clouds, a melody you've never heard, your brain is generating entirely new patterns of activity. It's creating something from nothing, using the same neural machinery that processes real experiences to construct experiences that exist only in your mind. And what of consciousness itself, that mysterious inner light that illuminates your thoughts and experiences? Scientists and philosophers have pondered this question for centuries, and still, no one knows exactly how the brain creates the felt experience of being aware. How does the electrical activity of neurons become the warm glow of consciousness? How does matter become mind? Some suggest that consciousness emerges from complexity, that when neural networks reach a certain level of intricacy and interconnection, awareness naturally arises, like a flame appearing when the right conditions are met. Others propose that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, and that your brain is simply organizing and focusing this universal awareness into the particular experience of being you. Perhaps the most beautiful aspect of this mystery is that you are both the observer and the observed. Your brain is studying itself. Consciousness is contemplating its own nature. Awareness is becoming aware of awareness. In this very moment, as you listen to these words, you are participating in the universe's attempt to understand itself. Your thoughts, flowing like a gentle river through your mind, are not separate from the physical world. They are the physical world, organizing itself into patterns of such beauty and complexity that it can contemplate its own existence. Every idea you have, every emotion you feel, every dream you dream, is the cosmos experiencing itself through the unique lens of your consciousness. This is perhaps the most profound truth your brain reveals. You are not separate from the universe, observing it from the outside. You are the universe, organized into a pattern complex enough to be aware of itself. Your consciousness is the cosmos looking at itself through your eyes, thinking about itself through your thoughts, feeling itself through your emotions. As you rest here now, feeling your thoughts beginning to slow and soften, remember that you are participating in the most extraordinary phenomenon in the known universe. Your brain, this universe within, is not just a biological organ. It is the means by which the cosmos has developed the capacity for wonder, for love, for the appreciation of beauty, for the contemplation of mystery. Asterisk, asterisk. Let us drift now into the gentle realm of memory, that magical library where your brain stores the story of your life. As you rest here, feeling the soft weight of the day settling into the past, your brain is quietly organizing the experiences you've had, deciding what to remember and what to let fade away like morning mist. Memory is not like a photograph or a video recording, precisely preserving each moment as it occurred. Instead, your brain creates memories the way an artist creates a painting, selecting certain details, emphasizing some aspects while letting others fade, mixing the colors of experience with the brushstrokes of emotion and meaning. Each time you remember something, you're not simply retrieving a file. You're actively reconstructing the experience, painting it anew with the palette of your present understanding. This is why your childhood memories feel so vivid, so charged with emotion. Your brain has been lovingly reconstructing them for years, each remembering adding new layers of meaning, like a beloved story that grows richer with each telling. The memory of your first day of school, or a special holiday, or a moment of unexpected joy, these are not just records of what happened, but ongoing creations of your mind, living stories that continue to evolve. Your brain has different types of memory, each stored in different regions, each with its own rhythm and purpose. There's the memory of how to ride a bicycle, stored in your motor cortex and cerebellum, a memory that lives in your muscles and your balance, so ingrained that you could do it without thinking. There's the memory of your first kiss, stored in your hippocampus and limbic system, wrapped in emotion and meaning, returning to you not as cold facts, but as a warm rush of feeling. And there are the memories you're not even aware of. Implicit memories that shape your behavior, your preferences, your instinctive responses to the world. The way you unconsciously smile when you smell baking bread, because your brain remembers the warmth and safety of your childhood kitchen. The way you feel calm when you hear rain on the roof, because your neural networks have learned to associate that sound with comfort and security. Your brain also creates what scientists call false memories, not because it's trying to deceive you, but because memory is inherently creative. Sometimes your brain fills in gaps in your recollection with plausible details, weaving together fragments of different experiences into a coherent narrative. These false memories feel just as real as true ones, because to your brain, they are real. They are part of the ongoing story. It tells about who you are and what you've experienced. Perhaps most beautifully, your brain doesn't just store memories. It uses them to imagine the future. When you dream about tomorrow, or plan for next week, or imagine what it might be like to travel to a distant place, your brain is combining elements from your stored experiences to create scenarios that don't yet exist. Memory and imagination are intimately connected, both drawing from the same neural networks, both part of your brain's remarkable ability to transcend the present moment. This is why nostalgia can be so powerful, so bittersweet. When you remember a departed loved one, your brain is not just accessing stored information. It's actively creating a present moment experience of that person's presence. The memory becomes a bridge across time, a way of keeping what was precious alive in the eternal now of your consciousness. Your dreams, too, are a form of memory processing. As you sleep, your brain sifts through the day's experiences, finding patterns, making connections, integrating new information with existing knowledge. Dreams are your brain's way of making sense of experience, of weaving the threads of memory into the fabric of understanding. They are the night shift of consciousness, working while you rest to organize the library of your mind. And what of the memories you've forgotten? They're not truly gone. They're simply sleeping, stored in neural patterns that may reawaken with the right trigger. A particular scent, a strain of music, a familiar face. Any of these might unlock a memory you thought was lost forever, bringing it back to life with startling clarity. Your brain is constantly editing your memories, emphasizing what seems important, letting irrelevant details fade away. This is not a flaw in the system. It's a feature. By forgetting the trivial and preserving the meaningful, your brain creates a coherent sense of self, a narrative identity that persists through time, even as your body changes and your experiences accumulate. As you rest here now, your brain is engaged in this gentle work of memory consolidation. The events of today are being woven into the tapestry of your life story, taking their place alongside all the other experiences that have shaped you. Some will be remembered clearly, others will fade into the background, but all will contribute to the ongoing creation of you, the unique pattern of memories, experiences, and understanding that makes you who you are. Asterisk, asterisk, as you sink deeper into the peaceful embrace of rest, let us explore one of your brain's most beautiful creations, the rich, flowing language of emotions that colors every moment of your existence. Your feelings are not just simple reactions to the world. They are sophisticated forms of intelligence, ancient wisdom encoded in the very structure of your neural networks. Consider the emotion you might be feeling right now, perhaps a sense of calm or gentle contentment, or the soft melancholy that sometimes accompanies the end of a day. This feeling isn't just happening to you. It's being actively created by your brain, woven from threads of memory, sensation, and meaning into the complex tapestry of your emotional experience. Your brain has learned, over millions of years of awe, evolution, that emotions are not obstacles to rational thinking. They are essential partners in the dance of consciousness. When you feel love, your brain releases oxytocin and dopamine, chemicals that not only create the sensation of affection, but also enhance your ability to bond, to trust, to connect with others. When you feel fear, your amygdala rapidly processes potential threats, preparing your body to respond even before your conscious mind has fully understood the danger. But emotions are far more nuanced than simple survival responses. Your brain can create feelings so subtle and complex that language struggles to capture them. The particular melancholy of a rainy Sunday afternoon, the specific joy of recognizing a piece of music you haven't heard in years, the precise comfort of being understood by someone who truly knows you. These emotions are like colors in a vast spectrum, each one a unique neural signature that adds depth and meaning to your experience. Asterisk, asterisk. Your brain also has the remarkable ability to feel emotions about emotions, what psychologists call meta-emotions. You can feel sad about being angry, or anxious about being happy, or guilty about feeling proud. This creates layers of emotional experience that are uniquely human, a recursive depth of feeling that mirrors the recursive nature of consciousness itself. The emotions you feel are not universal constants. They are, in part, learned experiences. Your brain has been shaped by your culture, your relationships, your personal history, creating a unique emotional landscape that is entirely your own. The way you experience joy, the particular quality of your sadness, the specific texture of your contentment, these are as individual as your fingerprints, as personal as your dreams. Your brain also creates emotions through prediction and interpretation. When you feel nervous before a presentation, your brain is not just responding to the present moment. It's imagining possible futures, constructing scenarios, and generating emotions based on these mental simulations. This predictive aspect of emotion is why you can feel excited about a vacation weeks before you leave, or melancholy about a summer that's ending even while it's still beautiful. Perhaps most remarkably, your brain can learn to change its emotional responses. Through mindfulness, through therapy, through the simple act of paying attention to your feelings, you can literally rewire your emotional circuits. This neuroplasticity of emotion means that you are not trapped by your feelings. You can develop new patterns of response, new ways of experiencing the world, new emotional vocabulary ease. Your emotions are also deeply connected to your body. When you feel embarrassed, your cheeks flush. When you're anxious, your heart races. When you're content, your breathing deepens. This is because emotion is not just a mental phenomenon. It's a whole body experience, a conversation between your brain and every cell in your body. Your emotions are embodied, physical, as real as your heartbeat. And emotions are contagious. Your brain contains mirror neurons that fire both when you experience an emotion and when you observe someone else experiencing it. This is why you might feel happy when you see someone laughing or sad when you witness someone crying. Your emotional brain is constantly resonating with the emotional states of others, creating invisible bonds of empathy and connection. Asterisk, asterisk. As you rest here now, notice the gentle emotions flowing through your consciousness. Perhaps there's a soft contentment, a quiet satisfaction with the day that's ending, a peaceful anticipation of sleep. These feelings are not just passive experiences. They are active creations of your brain, beautiful expressions of your neural network's ongoing conversation with the world. Asterisk, asterisk. Your emotions are the poetry of your existence. The way your brain transforms the raw material of experience into the felt sense of being alive. They are evidence of your brain's remarkable capacity for meaning-making, for finding significance in the simplest moments, for creating beauty from the basic elements of sensation and memory. In the gentle darkness of approaching sleep, let us contemplate one of your brain's most profound achievements, its ability to connect you with others, to create bonds that transcend the boundaries of individual consciousness. Your brain is not an isolated island of awareness. It is part of a vast archipelago of minds, each one unique, yet connected to all others through the invisible threads of empathy, understanding, and love. From the moment you were born, your brain has been learning the intricate dance of connection. As an infant, you gazed into your caregiver's eyes, and your neural networks began forming the patterns that would allow you to read faces, to understand emotions, to recognize the subtle signals that indicate safety, love, and belonging. This early learning created the foundation for all your future relationships, the basic templates your brain uses to navigate the complex social world. Your brain contains specialized circuits dedicated entirely to social cognition, networks, that activate when you think about other people, when you try to understand their intentions, when you imagine what they might be feeling. These circuits are so fundamental to your neural architecture that they're sometimes called your social brain, a testament to how deeply wired you are for connection. When you look into someone's eyes, your brain performs a miracle of interpretation. In milliseconds, it reads micro-expressions, analyzes vocal tones, processes body language, and integrates all this information into an understanding of the other person's emotional state. This happens so automatically that you're rarely aware of the complex neural computation involved. You simply know that your friend is worried or that your partner is happy to see you. Your brain also has the remarkable ability to synchronize with other brains. When you're in deep conversation with someone, your neural rhythms actually begin to align. Brain scans show that when two people are truly connecting, their brains start firing in similar patterns, creating a kind of neural harmony. This is why some conversations feel so effortless, so natural. Your brains are literally dancing together. This synchronization extends beyond conversation. When you watch a movie with others, your brains respond in remarkably similar ways to the emotional peaks and valleys of the story. When you sing together, your breathing patterns align, your heart rates synchronize, and your brainwaves begin to match. Music, laughter, shared experiences, all of these create temporary bridges between individual consciousnesses, moments when the boundaries between self and other become beautifully blurred. Your brain forms attachments not just to people, but to places, to pets, to objects that hold special meaning. The neural pathways that create love for a person are remarkably similar to those that create affection for a childhood home or loyalty to a favorite song. Your capacity for attachment is one of your brain's most flexible and creative abilities, allowing you to find meaning and connection in countless forms. Perhaps most beautifully, your brain can form connections across time when you remember a loved one who has passed away. Your neural networks activate in patterns similar to those that fired when that person was present. In this way, love transcends death. The connections formed in your brain during life continue to exist, continue to influence your thoughts and feelings, continue to make that person a living part of your consciousness. Your brain also connects you to the larger human story. When you read about historical events, your mirror neurons fire as if you were experiencing those events yourself. When you read poetry written centuries ago, your brain resonates with the emotions of someone long dead. This is why literature, art, and music can be so powerful. They create bridges across time and space, connecting your individual consciousness to the vast tapestry of human experience. The loneliness you sometimes feel is actually evidence of your brain's profound need for connection. Loneliness activates the same neural pathways as physical pain, because to your brain, social disconnection is as threatening as physical injury. This is not weakness, it's wisdom. Your brain understands that connection is essential for survival, for growth, for the full flowering of human consciousness. Your capacity for empathy, for feeling what others feel, is one of your brain's most extraordinary achievements. When you see someone in pain, your pain centers activate. When you witness joy, your pleasure circuits fire. You are not just observing others' experiences. You are, in a very real sense, sharing them. This neural empathy is what allows you to care for others, to form societies, to create the bonds that make civilization possible. As you rest here now, your brain is still connected to others, even in solitude. The memories of loved ones, the internalized voices of those who have shaped you, the sense of belonging to something larger than yourself. All of these connections remain active in your neural networks. You are never truly alone, because you carry within your brain the presence of everyone who has ever mattered to you. Your brain, in all its complexity and beauty, is ultimately a connection-making machine. It connects sensations to meanings, memories to emotions, thoughts to actions, and most importantly, self to others. In this way, your individual consciousness is both utterly unique and deeply connected to the vast network of human awareness that spans the globe and stretches back through time. As you drift deeper into the twilight, between waking and sleep, let us pause to contemplate the ultimate mystery that your brain presents, the profound question of what it means to be conscious, to be aware, to exist as a thinking, feeling being in this vast universe. Your brain, in all its complexity, remains one of the deepest puzzles in all of science, a mystery that grows more beautiful the more we understand it. Right now, as you rest in this quiet moment, something extraordinary is happening that no computer can replicate, no artificial intelligence can truly mimic. You are experiencing what philosophers call qualia, the subjective, felt quality of your experiences. The softness of your pillow isn't just a measure of pressure and texture. It's a unique, private sensation that exists only in your consciousness. The peace you feel isn't just a pattern of neural activity. It's a lived experience, a quality of being that is irreducibly yours. This is perhaps the most profound mystery. Your brain creates. How does the objective world of neurons and electrical signals give rise to your subjective world experiences, emotions, and thoughts? How does the firing of brain cells become the feeling of contentment, the experience of beauty, the sense of wonder you might feel when looking at a starry sky? Scientists call this the hard problem of consciousness, and despite decades of research, it remains beautifully unsolved. Your brain somehow creates what we might call a theater of consciousness, a unified experience of being you, even though this experience is generated by billions of separate neural processes happening simultaneously. There's no central location in your brain where you sit, watching the show of your life unfold. Instead, your sense of self emerges from the complex dance of neural networks, like a symphony that arises from the coordinated playing of individual instruments. This distributed nature of consciousness means that you are not a single, unchanging entity, but rather a dynamic process, a pattern of activity that maintains continuity while constantly changing. The you that went to sleep last night is not exactly the same as the you who woke up this morning, and yet there's an unbroken thread of identity that connects these different moments of yourself. Your brain maintains this continuity through memory, through narrative, through the ongoing story it tells about who you are. Your consciousness also has levels, like floors in a building. There's the ground floor of basic awareness, the simple fact of being conscious, of experiencing rather than not experiencing. Above that is the level of focused attention, where you can direct your consciousness toward specific thoughts, sensations, or experiences. Higher still is the level of self-awareness, where you can observe your own thoughts and feelings, becoming conscious of consciousness itself. And then there are the mysterious depths below conscious awareness, the vast unconscious processes that shape your thoughts, your feelings, your decisions without your knowledge. Your brain is constantly processing information, making calculations, forming judgments, all beneath the threshold of awareness. These unconscious processes are not separate from consciousness. They are its foundation, the hidden architecture that supports the visible structure of your aware experience. Your brain also creates what we might call extended consciousness, the ability to project your awareness beyond the immediate moment. You can remember the past, imagine the future, empathize with others, contemplate abstract concepts, and even ponder your own existence. This expansion of consciousness beyond the here and now is what makes you uniquely human, what allows you to transcend the limitations of your immediate circumstances. Perhaps most remarkably, your brain has given you the capacity to contemplate the very mystery of your own existence. You can think about thinking, be aware of being aware, wonder about the nature of wonder itself. This recursive quality of consciousness examining itself, is like a mirror reflecting into another mirror, creating an infinite regression of self-awareness. Your brain has also given you the ability to transcend your individual perspective, to imagine what it might be like to be someone else, to consider viewpoints different from your own. This capacity for perspective taking is what allows you to have empathy, to create art, to build societies based on shared understanding rather than mere cooperation. And what of the relationship between your brain and your sense of free will? When you make a decision, your brain shows activity related to that decision before you're consciously aware of having made it. This suggests that your conscious mind might be more of a narrator than a director, creating a story about decisions that have already been made at unconscious levels. Yet this doesn't diminish the reality of your choices. It simply makes them more mysterious, more beautiful in their complexity. Your brain also creates your sense of meaning and purpose. The significance you find in relationships, in work, in creative expression, in spiritual experience. All of these are constructions of your neural networks, ways your brain has learned to find value and direction in existence. This doesn't make meaning less real. It makes it more precious, because it shows how your brain actively creates the sense of purpose that gives life its richness. As you rest here now, your brain continues to generate the ongoing miracle of your conscious experience. Even as you drift towards sleep, some part of your awareness remains, monitoring your body, processing your environment, maintaining the continuous thread of your existence. You are not just a biological machine. You are a universe of experience, a cosmos of consciousness, a living testament to the extraordinary capacity of matter to organize itself into awareness. And now, as our gentle journey through the universe within draws to a close, let us rest together in the peaceful understanding of what you are, not just a body lying in bed, but a magnificent expression of the cosmos itself, aware and wondering, dreaming, and discovering, loving and being loved. Your brain, this 3-pound universe cradled safely in your skull, has carried you through another day of existence, another revolution of experiences, emotions, and connections. It has maintained your body, processed your experiences, created your thoughts, and woven the ongoing story of your life. Now, as the day settles into memory and tomorrow waits like a gentle promise, your brain prepares for the restorative magic of sleep. As you sink deeper into rest, remember that you are part of something vast and beautiful. The same atoms that form your neurons were forged in the hearts of ancient stars. The same forces that govern the movement of galaxies also orchestrate the dance of thoughts in your mind. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe, awakened to itself, conscious of its own existence, capable of wonder and love and the appreciation of beauty. Your brain connects you to every human who has ever lived, through the shared patterns of neural activity that create emotion, through the universal capacity for language and art and music, through the common experience of consciousness itself. When you feel joy, You participate in the same neural symphony that has brought happiness to countless others. When you love, you express the same fundamental patterns of connection that have bound humans together across time and space. In your dreams tonight, your brain will continue its gentle work of integration and restoration. It will process the day's experiences, strengthen important memories, and prepare for tomorrow's adventures. Your neurons will fire in slow, rhythmic patterns, creating the brain waves that accompany deep, restorative sleep. Your glymphatic system will wash away the day's cellular debris, leaving your brain refreshed and renewed. And in the morning, when you wake, your brain will once again create the miracle of consciousness, the sense of being you, aware and alive, ready to engage with the world. You will open your eyes, and your visual cortex will paint the world in color and light. You will hear the sounds of morning, and your auditory cortex will transform vibrations into meaning. You will feel the comfort of your bed, and your somatosensory cortex will create the sensation of touch. But more than all of this, you will simply be conscious, aware, existing as a unique pattern of neural activity that has never existed before and will never exist again. You are a singular expression of the universe's capacity for self-awareness, a one-time only performance in the vast theater of existence. As you rest now, let yourself feel the deep peace that comes from understanding your place in the cosmos. You are not an accident or an anomaly. You are a natural and beautiful expression of the universe's tendency to organize itself into ever greater complexity and awareness. Your consciousness is not a problem to be solved, but a gift to be celebrated. Let your breathing slow and deepen. Let your muscles relax and soften. Let your thoughts become like clouds drifting across the sky of your mind, present but not, persistent, noticed but not grasped. Your brain knows how to guide you into sleep. Trust in its ancient wisdom. Thank you for joining me on this gentle journey through the landscape of your mind. Thank you for allowing me to share in your wonder, your curiosity, your capacity for peaceful contemplation. In exploring the mysteries of the brain, we've also explored the mysteries of existence itself and found them to be beautiful beyond measure. Wherever you are in this vast world, I hope you're feeling the deep comfort that comes from understanding yourself as part of something magnificent. May your dreams be filled with the same wonder we've shared tonight. May your sleep be deep and restorative. May you wake tomorrow with a renewed appreciation for the extraordinary gift of consciousness. The universe within you is vast and beautiful, mysterious and familiar, ancient and ever new. As you drift into sleep, remember that you carry within yourself the same creative force that shapes galaxies and inspires love songs, that creates both the dance of electrons and the poetry of human connection. Rest well, fellow traveler in the cosmos of consciousness. Your brain will watch over you while you sleep, maintaining the gentle rhythms of life, preparing for tomorrow's adventures, dreaming dreams that only you can dream. Good night, and may your journey through the universe within continue to fill you with wonder, with peace, and with the quiet joy of being magnificently, mysteriously, beautifully alive. Sweet dreams. Asterisk.